to YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. How do I start it?
What's that?
It's not perfect. I'm going to get a different one.
Like, I know you like perfection.
Keep my hands
Morning,
back here.
friends on the planet. Let's do it. Woohoo!
8:35 on News Radio 94.9, 890 KDXU. Every Thursday, we get a little taste of St. George Real Estate. It's the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive with Jeremy Larkin. Jeremy, take it away.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and germs. Ladies and germs, right, Ty? Ty's in the background. He can yell.
Yes.
Hey, I've got some fun guests here today, by the way. I like to go with the lady's name first, which is Pam.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, and Ty Isham. And on the Facebook Live, you're going to like this because we always put a title. And I said this morning, let me pull it up. Guys, if you're not watching Facebook Live, you'd better be. So you can listen to this show, 94.9 FM, 890 AM, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Shoot, man, I think we might even just have the government downloading it straight into your brain. When we figure that out, I said, Pam, milk, Isham. Yeah. I said, how cool is that? And a glass of milk.
And a glass of milk.
Yeah,
cool.
like how cool is that? So we're gonna have Pam on momentarily. After we listen to ourselves talk, right, Jesse?
You love to listen to yourself talk, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why I started a radio show. Let me go ahead and do something. Guys, I'm going to do something live on the air. I'm going to encourage you to do the same. I'm going over to, I'm letting my fingers do the walking. Who remembers that? Who remembers what company that was? Wasn't it? It was one of the phone companies, but which one was it?
I can't remember.
Let your fingers do the walking?
AT&T.
Was it?
What's that?
I can't remember.
Let your Yellow Pages. It's just Yellow Pages. Let your fingers do the walking, and you can listen to.
I was going to say that, but then you said phone company. I'm like, phone company.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And hey, Jess, kick that door because we got guys that I think they're having a drunken party down at Devin Dixon's office in this ESPN Sports Radio right now, which is really early for those guys to start drinking, right? I mean, 8:37. Thank you, guys. Visit soldinstgeorge.com. Jesse, will you tell them what we're doing? What we're trying to win?
This is so
I'm going to
exciting.
cast my own vote for myself right now, for us.
We're going to do that. So we've actually been nominated for the best of Southern Utah, the Larkin Group, and actually twofold, Jeremy and the Larkin Group. So
Best realtor and best real estate team.
we would love your help in that. Jeremy posted a thing the other day that said the last time I won anything was in high school.
It was the class of 1993 yearbook, and I hope some of the people that I care about are watching right now. It was when I won biggest comedian for the preference, 93 preference.
So
No, Andy, it's real. Go to Facebook, man.
He did. In all seriousness, if you know who the Larkin Group is and you know who we are, we're
Yeah.
all about trying to do the right thing and be the best that we can be. So if you've done business with us, or if you love what we deliver and the value that we give, we'd love the opportunity to win that contest.
Thank you, man, and for that description. And so you just visit soldinstgeorge.com, and the way that we rigged our website, it's so fun. It pops right in front of you. It says vote here. And here's the cool part. 2 clicks. You click, it opens. You click, you're voted. There's no email, no phone, no nothing. It is one of the most killer platforms. I didn't build it. Another media company in town did, a competitor. So please vote for us over at Sold in St. George, soldinstgeorge.com. You can actually vote every day until March 15th. I know that we won't count on that for most of our listeners. Will we now? Will we now? Thank you, Robert, for posting that. Morning to our listeners, viewers, watchers. I've always wanted to start a watch party. Can we try that sometime? Is this start a watch party? I don't know.
Is that on Facebook?
It's on Facebook. Guys, momentarily we're going to have Pam Isham on, and Pam and Ty, they manage short-term, nightly, weekly rentals. And some of you might have heard on Tuesday, I landed here with Andy in the he's giving me a thumbs up. I landed very last minute on the open mic show, and we talked about vacation rentals and short-term rentals. And I wanted to give you a teaser, okay? Because yesterday she asked, so responsibly, what questions? And here are the questions I asked her. We're going to talk about today. 30 seconds, what do you do? In 1 minute or less, how did you get into the business? How many units, vacation rentals do you manage? Who are your clients? Who are the people who buy vacation rentals and need them managed? What kind of income do they bring, right? I mean, how much money can they make? What are the biggest concerns owners of vacation rentals have? What does it cost to have it managed? What is the biggest challenge you face managing short-term rentals? How does someone contact you? And what is your general opinion of the short-term market? I mean, this is like, and I've said this on the air, this is the news at 10:01. They go, hey, stay tuned for the most important story, which will be on at 10:29 p.m. at the very end of the broadcast. But we won't go that long. So momentarily we'll have Pam on, but I'm Jeremy Larkin, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. I've got Jesse Paul here, who has really become my co-host. Man. Right. Andy Griffin, we took his microphone and headset away. It's part of a punishment. He's in a timeout this morning. And he's got his headset. We just took his microphone away. And if you will please cast your vote over at soldinstgeorge.com for the best of Southern Utah. And I'd be curious. See, I'm trying to track. You know what I did? I created a Google document yesterday with all of my favorite companies that I'm voting for, and I'm actually voting for daily. Literally. Like, I have my own list.
So where do you go to find the whole list of all of the companies
so
in the different
this categories? Is perfect. So if you want to go over to bestofsouthernutah.com, bestofsouthernutah.com, and you can vote. And my gosh, I mean, you'd vote for just about anything. You know, I mean, I think there was 900 companies nominated in I don't know how many categories. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to go look at that.
Yeah. Let's talk about short-term rentals.
Talk about short-term
rentals.
Let's
do it. So I've got Pam here. She is lovely. I have Ty just lurking in the shadows, probably like he's done most of their marriage. I don't know. Is this a metaphor? Is this a metaphor? He's like back there. He's skulking around, you know. I love it. I love that he's in the studio. So I have Pam Isham, and Pam and Ty are actually clients of ours, past clients of ours that we've worked with in the real estate world. So thank you for, I always say, helping us feed our families, because literally you did, and you do, and you guys have referred us business. And we're working on referring you business now.
Yep.
Which is going to be awesome. So give us a 30-second synopsis, like we talked about earlier. What is your company, and what do you guys do?
Yeah. So essentially, what is our company? So we're a vacation rental management company. So, but then I thought hard about, like, what do we do, right? So what we do is we provide great experiences for our owners and our guests. I mean, it's our ultimate goal that people build memories when they're with us, right? So people come to our area for many things, and what we want them to do is be able to come and put their feet up when they come into one of our units and feel like they've just come home. It is their second home. You know, it's a place to kick back and have all those comforts.
Yeah, it really is. And when I was on Tuesday, I actually re-listened to the show. Andy, it was funny. Yesterday I kicked it on while I was doing something else, and I was even giving myself a kick. I was getting a kick out of myself. I said, I'm a user, you know, ... of vacation rentals. So that's why I do it.
Right.
You know, it is. I saw the funniest story the other day. It was a Facebook story. A guy, I don't know how it got in the news, but KSL had it on their Facebook feed. And the guy's looking at long-term retirement housing, like, you know, when mom and dad get too old, or mom or dad, and then they put him in not a care facility, but more like assisted living. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about the cost, and this guy had written a blog about it, a blog or a Facebook post, and he said, here's the deal. It's X number of dollars per day to stay at one of those things. He said, I'm actually going to go to the local Hilton, whatever it was, and in his city it was $59 a day, and it had free breakfast, and they have a pool and everything. And he literally had said, that's where I'm going to retire to. And it's comical because there's no reason he can't do that. But what it brought up is, for me, a hotel is not like a condo, a home, a vacation rental.
Not at all.
It just feels like a hotel.
Right.
Like they're going to come in and change the sheets in the morning, and I guess that's fine. Mm-hmm. I hope they change them. There's a lot of horror stories about that, isn't there, Jesse? So home away from home.
Home away from home. And I've actually had older people talk to me about that very thing. Like, maybe they want to travel, they want to give up their home, so they just vacation home hop, a month here, a month there.
Yeah. Have you guys ever, and I mentioned it yesterday, Jesse, would you just raise your hand? No. Have you ever checked out at all what we talked about Tuesday, which is the home swapping?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I've
cool.
actually had a couple owners talk to me about that. Like, if somebody's interested, hey, I
want to do it. I want to do it. I really am going to do it.
Yeah.
So how did you get in this business?
Actually, I started in hospitality way back when I was in college, you know, having that need to have a little extra money. So I actually worked at the local Town and Country in Cedar City as a housekeeper. And then when we moved here, Ty was actually in the car business, selling cars for one of the local dealerships here. and kind of half stay-at-home mom at the time. An opportunity came up just around the corner at timeshare. So I said, why not? You know, so I started there, kind of lower in the ranks.
Where were
doing
you at, like
housekeeping.
Worldmark or something?
Yep, worked my way up through the company and worked in housekeeping, became the assistant resort manager, and then into the general manager position.
So it's in your blood.
It is in my blood. I
Here's
was
the-
raised in the restaurant business.
Here's the thing. She's good on the radio, isn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, she's good. She was nervous about it. I just want to tell you that.
Yeah,
You're very comfortable. Very comfortable. But what I love about this is you actually do have experience in this realm.
Right. It's a big difference because of what a guest expects when they stay at a place. Even though it's not a hotel, they a lot of times expect the same type of treatment that they would
Yeah.
get at a hotel.
Yeah.
So having that hospitality background is something that we bring to that so that we can create those great experiences for people.
That's really interesting because how many of other property management companies treat it like a long-term rental, and it's just not.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not at all.
I mean, how many? I don't know, but I get what you're asking, right?
Right. That's interesting
Well,
because that's a lot different message than I've heard before.
yeah. Have you done a vacation rental? Have you stayed in one?
No, just talking to different people. We don't, I was
'Cause
going
you go to
to say, you want
family.
to make some really good money, have a package for people that want room service to come in.
Yeah.
The reason we don't typically stay at a nightly rental is because my wife wants them to come make the bed.
And bingo. So when you said room service,
I don't want to do it.
when you said room service, I thought you meant that you wanted the $18 cheesecake.
Well, that too.
That's what I
what-
thought he wanted to.
You can have
You mean changing the linens? Okay.
Yeah, so,
We actually offer that for a price. People can actually schedule that in advance. We'll actually even go get their groceries for
there you
them.
go. So there you go.
Have them set up.
There's so much. What your
I
company?
didn't know that. I wasn't
Yeah.
lead-in.
Yeah, no, they can
well,
do that.
why don't you stop being such a what's the word here? I don't. Man, isn't it funny that my brain just fried out? You know what I mean? But why don't you actually practice what we're talking about and actually go stay on a vacation rental? You're such a hypocrite. That's the
I
word.
stayed one in Boston.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's cool.
I have stayed in them.
Okay, you did.
Then we come home and my wife says, "Man, the bed's not made."
I know. She's like, this just feels like home.
It is awesome.
So Pam, it's kind of segueing along here. Your company name is
My second home.
My Second Home. Bingo.
Yeah.
So you guys now manage. I said 30 on the Facebook feed. I don't know what is it.
Yeah, we're at 26 right now
Okay.
and quickly growing because we're involved in a couple projects here in town. So everybody kind of knows that new area out there in Ivans where you've got Arcadia and Paradise. Well, we're actually one of the management companies managing for Ocotillo Springs, just behind those.
I know exactly.
So, and we've got units selling and opening up, so there will be a lot of those to manage here soon.
So here's what I want folks to do this morning. By the way, I'm just looking at our Facebook feed. If you've got questions or comments and you're watching this Facebook Live, please do ask.
Yeah,
We would love it.
absolutely.
And that would be remarkable. So you've got 26 units, and what does, if I'm an owner and I want to have a vacation rental, but I want it managed because I don't want to fiddle with it, what
Right.
does someone pay? Like, what's general standard?
Yeah, the standard is pretty much in our area is 30%, but it's pretty much across the board. You know, if you look around the United States, when I've looked at other areas, it's 30%.
Yeah.
Some are a little bit higher than that, but I feel that that's fair.
Yeah. And that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard 25 to 35 across
And
the
that's
planet.
off of net nightly.
Yeah, net nightly. If I have, so in a year, what is a typical owner that you have here bringing in annually? I'm going to narrow it down momentarily.
Yeah, annually it could be, it just depends upon where the unit is too and what
Okay.
the nightly rate is for it.
Okay, let's talk about somebody that's got a Las Palmas unit.
Okay, so a Las Palmas unit, they could be bringing anywhere from 15 to 25,000 in a
Annually?
year.
Okay. What's the most expensive property that you manage?
Most expensive property that we manage currently is like at Estancia.
Okay. So what would they bring in a year?
Actually, close to the same.
Isn't that funny?
Because here's the thing is what people want is they want bang for their buck, right?
Yep.
So when you tend to have a property that's higher priced, sometimes maybe it doesn't get quite the occupancy that one does that is more fairly priced.
Yeah. So Estancia, so really quick, Estancia, describe the Estancia unit compared to the Las Palmas unit for the listener.
Okay, so basically the Estancia unit, like the most expensive one that we have, would be considered like a presidential suite. So it's like a 4-bedroom, 4-bath unit, top floor unit, overlooks the pools, right? So, and one of the unique things about this property compared to some others that we do is we do rent it as a 3, a 4, or a 1, which is like a hotel room. We have a lockout on it.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can actually divide the unit up. Our biggest units over like at Las Palmas, they're actually equally as nice.
Yeah.
We have 2 second and third floor units that are 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Beautiful units, you know, with lots of square footage. What would you say, Ty, about 1,500 to 2,000 in one of those? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Marlene asked a question, what's the normal occupancy rate for Arcadia, Paradise, and Ocotillo? Like for annually?
Yeah, for annually, I'm going to say it's going to be between, because they're still fairly new properties, you're probably talking between 30 and 50% occupancy in those.
Yep. I heard, you know, and you guys, of course, know Kendall, and I was commenting about Kendall on Tuesday because he was texting me around the air. So Kendall's done a lot of vacation rentals, and we're in this conversation, by the way, of creation versus competition. So, hey, we talk about their competitor, but he's a great guy. These guys are great people. He was commenting that, you know, at some of those places that you're seeing about 60% kind of max. But you haven't seen anyone with more than probably 50, 60%.
No, absolutely not. Not with as many rentals as we have in the area right now.
Yeah. There's so many. Are there, and you get to be opinionated here because, well, and remember that the reason I say that is I think people are afraid.
Right.
And I've gotten quite opinionated on this radio show.
You have. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm not quite Rush Limbaugh, but do you think there are too many units being built, vacation rentals being built and zoned?
I think the zoning is a great thing.
Yeah.
I think that we probably have too many being built right now because the problem is with the amount that are being built, they're still very costly piece of property compared to what an average home is, right?
Yeah, that's what you said, Jesse, when you commented.
Except for what that ends up doing is driving down the nightly rate because we all compete, you know? I mean, every single company here is going to tell you that they do like market analysis, right? And we're watching what the prices are. Well, you've got to compete with your competitors and where people want to stay. Yeah. You know, so that drives down the price, the nightly price.
Yeah, and I've been strongly think that we're building too many, and I'm remember the litmus test is the did you notice test, and did you notice when you drive around town that everywhere you look is another billboard or 8x8 sign in the ground that says we're building new units that are nightly, weekly zoned.
I heard you say that the other day, and I see them too. We drive around to see them.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Well, the opposing opinion about that would be is that the city just trying to offset all of the private owners trying to do the nightly rental in places that aren't zoned. So they either open it up to the city or keep it where they can control it.
Right. This is true.
They're gonna be here either way.
Correct.
Correct. You know, we have 1,000 new hotel rooms right now. So 500 just this last year, another 500 coming online. That's a lot of hotel rooms. I mean, this becomes challenging. One of the strongest opinions I have is I don't really advise for most locals that they're purchasing a vacation rental in St. George. If I were purchasing a vacation rental, I'd be purchasing it in Park City, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, in a place that I want to go, right? And I want to spend some time in, and then allow these tenants to offset my costs at 30 to 50% per year. Okay. That's just me.
So here's
I don't know.
Here's 2 little tidbits for you.
Yeah, go.
So first one is even though we have that many hotels already, and I know we're building, so we may reach that, you know, that cap to where all of a sudden we've got too many vacation rentals, too many hotels. But even right now, President's Day weekend, and you could talk to other managers, they'll tell you the same thing because we call each other to help each other. Our phones are ringing off the hook. There is no place to stay.
There's no room at the inn.
There's no room at the inn because we've got sporting events going on. We've got parade of homes going on, and we're just packed to the gills. You know, you heard people on the radio complain about the traffic issues and stuff.
Oh, it's,
and then the other end of it is as far as locals owning. Now, I've had several people come to me, and I've actually had people that have purchased, and you could talk to other realtors about this as well, that are kind of into selling the vacation rentals. But what's really, really interesting is that there are locals that want them. Why do they want them? This is a retirement community.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden I find myself in a really small home. Our home's not very big, and we don't want to get bigger because our kids are grown. now all of a sudden the families are growing. I've got 3 grandchildren, 5 grandchildren,
Ooh.
10 grandchildren.
I see
Everybody
this.
comes for Thanksgiving.
And you want to invite them in.
Where do I put them?
Okay.
So they buy one to make a little money, but they also can put the family up there when they've got big holidays or summer or whatever it is.
I don't hate that, and I like this alternative opinion. So here's a question. At 30 to 50% occupancy, let's call it 50% occupancy, because remember, all of our listeners out here, we've got Pam Isham with My Second Home, and they manage second home vacation rentals, basically, right? Short-term rentals. Remember that the rate that you're paying per night is high compared to like a long-term lease on a Las Palmas unit is $1,400 a month. But per night it's $150 a night, right?
Right.
So could someone cash flow and even make not just break even, but be profitable at 50% occupancy in their unit here locally?
Locally, I think if they buy right, they've got to buy in the right place for the right price. For example, like one of the units in Las Palmas, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, sold for like $260 something.
Yeah, it's getting expensive. Paradise Village, we talked about. I use Paradise Village for the event. Posting on Facebook, that stuff's expensive. Pam, who's your owners? Who are your owners? But who is an owner? Like not by name, but who would be an owner? How much time, Andy? 3 minutes. Perfect.
Okay. So who would be an owner? So like you said, a lot of owners are from out of the area. And interestingly enough, a lot of the owners actually are like maybe snowbirds themselves. So maybe they want to come for a month or 2 down here.
Yep.
So they're from Idaho, from Washington, from all over, Oregon, whatever, right? Northern Utah, we have several from Northern Utah. But an owner is someone that maybe they want a place to stay themselves or be able to put their kids up, their brothers, their sisters. I have people that do that all the time, share it with the family. But they want to make a little money on the side too. Maybe they want to cover their HOA fees or all of their power bills and stuff. They may not always cover their mortgage.
So are all of your owners independently wealthy people who just had $500,000 to buy a unit?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Nope.
I say it with a grin.
Nope, they're people just like us.
The coolest thing about rental properties as we start to wrap this show up, and the coolest part is that, so Jesse, if you have a Roth IRA or a 401k, your employer, if you had a good employer, might match it. But the issue with your Roth IRA is who funds it? Who puts the money in every month? You do, right? The cool thing about investment properties is that somebody else pays for it every month.
Correct.
That is the zinger. By the way, a listener out there might be somebody, a dual income family, and he runs a Jiffy Lube, and she's a teacher at Heritage Elementary. Those folks would be incredible investors. And you know what's funny? Those people,
there's a lot of them out there.
And a lot of them don't. There are, and yet a lot of them don't think of themselves as investors. It's like, whoa, go get a property. Pam Isham, thank you. So how do people reach you? Tell us how do they contact you.
You can reach us at mysecondhomevacay.com or
mysecondhomevacay.com.
And you can also reach us at 435-313-5143. Glad to answer any questions.
Okay, I'm going to give it in. 435-313-5143. Yep, 313-5143. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on the air.
Absolutely.
You're amazing.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to have to have you back. And of course, listeners, thank you. If you've got questions about your own real estate situation, buying a rental, selling a rental, or you want to give us a vote for Best of Southern Utah, visit us at soldinstgeorge.com. Soldinstgeorge.com. Over and out. Whoo!
Good job.
Whew, not as bad as I thought.
Great.